Hi everyone, I'm here with Miss Pate.
Hi.
And I'm going to be interviewing her today on her teaching career and her time in Germany. So, when did you first find an interest in teaching?
I was an adult and I decided that I needed a career, not just a string of jobs. So I decided to go back to school to get my teaching degree.
Okay. And did you ever have any other careers in mind?
Yeah, I wanted to be an artist.
That's a good one. You'd be a good artist, yeah. What education did you have?
So years ago, like in the early 80s, I went to the University of Arkansas and studied art and interior design. And then finally, in like 2009, I went back to school at the University of Wyoming, first at Northwest College and then in Laramie.
Nice. And how much you worked with other countries before?
Oh yeah, I've actually taught students in China, and that was so much fun. It's an online program, and so I would wake up at 3:30 in the morning.
Oh wow. And
get bright red lipstick on, use a beauty filter for the screen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I do too.
Yeah, and then teach and sing and teach every age from about 4 to 14.
That sounds exciting.
It was heartbreaking when the Chinese government decided not to have Western teachers teach their kids anymore.
Yeah. What kind of lifestyle changes have you made when becoming a teacher?
I think I like staying at home, working from home as an online teacher.
Yeah.
So being in the classroom is a little harder.
Yeah.
And as an online teacher, you only have one student at a time, but you have them every 30 minutes, so not much break. That's a change, but it's nice to get up later in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's like nice to really know my students better here, because I get to see them all through the day and I just know more about them.
Yeah. And what are the pros and cons, in your opinion, of teaching?
I think the pros are so important. The biggest pro for me is actually seeing human potential develop. That's the biggest pro. And that's really and truly why I teach, and why I teach English as a second language at night in our community. But the con is, right now and in this area, the pay is not extraordinary. There are other places that have recently increased teacher pay. I think it is a great career, and I wish I'd started it earlier.
Yeah. And so, is there anything else that you'd like to add about teaching?
Well, just to talk about my passion for English language learners, or ESOL, or teaching English to students of second language as a second language. I began that in high school as tutoring. So we had an exchange student from Iran, and who spoke Farsi, and no, I don't speak Farsi.
I've never even heard of that until just now. So
so she was my age-ish, and we met every day kind of during lunch and during study hall, and we practiced English. And that was my first ESL student.
That's nice. And it was when you were still in high school?
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. And I was going to ask this in like the Germany portion of the questions, but since we're talking about languages, is there any other languages that you know or would like to learn?
Yeah, I would like to learn Spanish. That would be very helpful in our community.
Yeah.
We have a growing Latino population, and it'd make it easier to teach some of our students.
Yeah.
I'd also like to learn Romanian, which is very similar to Spanish.
Yeah.
and that is because I have some friends there.
What year did you move to Germany and how old were you?
Okay, let's see. My youngest son was not even a year old, so that would have been in 1989, the spring, late spring. And then I was not quite 30, so late 20s.
Mhm.
And we moved there as a family.
Sounds nice.
Yeah.
And who all did you move there with?
Okay, my husband, who is a captain in the United States Army,
Oh.
and 3 kids.
So I bet that was a hassle to get all of them over there.
It was, but the
Yeah.
Army has a system for moving people.
Yeah.
You have to decide what you're going to put in storage.
Yeah. And so did you guys, what was the reason for you guys moving there? Was it him being in the Army?
It was, yeah. So he was in the armor program, and so one of the career things that he had to do was do time in Germany. So worked there for a while.
Okay. And how long were you guys there for?
About 2.5 years.
That's pretty good.
Hmm.
Pretty good. And what were the biggest culture shocks that you experienced?
Well, the biggest, there were several.
Yeah.
When I first got there, I was just in love and in awe of everything. It was a wonderful honeymoon period. Everything looked beautiful. And we got there in the spring or late spring, early summer, and so there was a lot of daylight.
Yeah.
That was great.
How did you learn German? Was it just over time living there or like you said, college?
A little bit of college, but really to learn a language, to be able to think in it
Mm-hmm.
and respond in it automatically. You have to like really immerse yourself in the language.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I was ever fluent,
Yeah.
but I could get around and buy things.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yeah, but I never got the hang of the money there.
How was the architecture?
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. Germany has a very eclectic architecture. First of all, they have in small villages that were not overly damaged
Mm-hmm.
during World War II.
Yeah.
They have rock walls around the churches, or even rock walls around the whole village.
Yeah.
And then there's beautiful community gardens around on the outside of the walls.
That's pretty.
Yes, and the houses just different. Many of them, the front door opened right
Mm-hmm.
into the onto the street, and there were always flowers. From the beginning
That's
of
so
May onward, there were flowers. So I just was entranced by the geraniums hanging from the balcony baskets.
Oh my gosh.
And
so
the
pretty.
pots by the front doors. Our village had some streets that were cobblestone. Had like the church is 400 or 500 years old,
Oh wow.
and just our house was new, but our landlord's house was very old and
Mhm.
actually had a barn connected to it.
Oh. Sounds fun. It also just seems very different from here because here it's more like modern,
Mm-hmm.
fast, cheap houses, but it seems like their buildings had a lot of like time and effort put into them.
Right.
And if you could, would you ever move back there? Or visit at least?
I would love to visit. I would love to take a tour with a bunch of people my age, one of
Mhm.
those Centennial
Yeah.
Bank tours or something.
Yeah.
Where they do all the planning for you.
Yeah.
Or, a group of artists. I would go there definitely.
Yeah, that sounds pretty. And, well, in concluding, is there anything else that you'd like to add about Germany or just other countries?
One of the things that was just so incredible in Germany was the sense of history,
Mm-hmm.
because it's an older country,
Yeah.
and even though many of the buildings have been damaged in the war, they've been rebuilt, but
Yeah.
they have modern architecture too. And they're great people, and every village I visited was just beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And I also remember you talking about how the tables how everyone was very close with each other, which
Yes.
which would be really weird in America because we all
Yes.
need a lot of personal space.
Right. Yeah, at the Schnitzel factory. That was a fun thing to
Yeah.
take, to go to the Schnitzel factory and sit with your family at a
Mhm.
long, like a cafeteria bench table and enjoy your meal, and then another family comes up to it.
Well, I think that concludes it.
Thank you,
You did,
Kimberly.
you did a really good job.
Thank you.
And thank you for taking your time
Oh,
after
glad
school
to.
to talk to me.
Yeah.
And that concludes it.
Oh,
Thank you
yeah.
all for watching.
Oh, here I am.